trying to find. Cool. I should probably keep an eye on time.
Yeah. Don't worry, this is only maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. So you'll be done for 10-2.
We'll see. We always say we're gonna be done in that, and then 4 hours later, we're like, "Oh my god, we haven't talked for at least a week."
Share. Around. There we go.
Well, I know it's we're live and you're busy, but this is coming your way.
What is? Holy shit!
I bought that for you.
Sweet man. What's the occasion? What did I do to deserve that?
Yeah, 50 quid. You owe me 50 quid now.
Put it on my tab.
Yeah, exactly. I'll send it over there, and yeah. No, I got an extra one for you. So
very nice. Appreciate it.
Oh well, it's the first Thurman Munson. Well, from the set that I'm buying everything for, so I figured the least I could do is pick you up one.
I don't know what happened to my Garrett Cole card you gave me.
Oh gosh, you know what? Someone broke into your house and stole it. That's what happened.
No, the last person that had it was Arthur.
It got put in a nappy and it's gone.
Oh, good God! I don't know what he's done with it. I think.
Yeah.
He's found his first hero.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole. Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
I thought.
I think he snuck it under his bed.
There you go.
All right, let's get started, shall we? This will be a relatively short. I'm just going to jump to the caps and bagpipes piece so he can in the comments.
We know we have the thousands of people watching us already. Like, all right, come on, guys. What are you doing?
That number 2 right there is actually the number of thousands of people, and not.
Yeah, of course. That's that. Trying to see if I have anything else. I need to go to the post office tomorrow. I'll put that in the mail for you. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's stupid.
Well, we're live on Facebook. What are we missing?
I'm just trying to get onto the podcast.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
We are good. Right. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ball Caps and Bagpipes. I am John of the Glasgow Cosmets.
I'm Jason Durr, former league president in Edinburgh Cannon.
And Baseball Scotland Hall of Famer, Jason.
Okay, yeah. There we go. We'll add that one as well, too.
The first ever Baseball Scotland Hall of Famer. I don't know why you're so reluctant to introduce yourself as that. If I was in any Hall of Fame, I would be like, hello, I'm a Hall of Famer. If I was in like the toilet cleaner Hall of Fame, I would be like, yep, I'm a Hall of Famer.
I will get that award for you soon. I'm going to go get a plaque for you. You can put that up on your wall. Like I said, there's a trophy shop around the corner from my house, and I'm going to go there tomorrow.
It's good to see you, man. It's been a couple of weeks since we last had a show. The last one we actually had, I missed due to feeling unwell. It was your chat with Courtney Wall. Let's start off by covering that a bit. How did that go, and what were the highlights?
Oh, you're going to throw a curveball at me already. It's not even a softball. You're throwing me the curveball. It was a couple of weeks ago. No, it was a fantastic chat with Courtney. She was a wonderful guest. It was her first time on the show. She's a very talented artist. Did some really cool stuff. Has been involved with the Negro League Museum since she was 18. So I think it's not to date her, but it's probably about 15 years she's worked with them in there. She's
not that old. She's my age then.
It came up in the interview. That's all I'm saying. She didn't want to date herself. That's all it is. So when she's like, oh my gosh, it's been 15 years. And I'm like, okay, I'll put you at 33, 32, 33. And it's just like, oh, I'm so old. So that's what came from her mouth, not mine. So yes.
Oh, excuse me, Courtney, you're not that old.
So just a fun person. The time flew by. And she's definitely going to be involved with an upcoming event that we will talk about maybe next week or the week after. So something's on the background. I have a meeting as soon as this is done, and I can update you on there. But It's a big one. I gotta tell you that. So it's yeah. I'm excited about this one.
What a tease you are there.
I need to tease it out as long as I can. So
Yeah, maybe I should have left that section for the last to finish on, but hey ho, I do things backwards in my daily life as it is.
it's all
Why
good.
make the habit of a lifetime? So Jason, tonight we have episode 25, Ball Caps and Bagpipes. We're kind of back to Baseball Scotland stuff. We don't have a season quite yet, but things are starting to rev up towards the start of the 2021 season. Just a couple of weeks ago, right before we had an interview with Luke Powell, the schedule, the league season was released. So let's dive into the schedule a bit. Obviously, we didn't get around to it the last time because the interview with Luke lasted pretty much an entire hour. It was an absolute blast having him on. And again, I think we should wish Luke, who is a legend of Scottish baseball, and really was the core that the thrice in a row Glasgow Galaxy Championship teams were built around. So what else can you say about the guy? He was such a monumental sort of find for the Galaxy, and he's left such an indelible mark.
So I meant to ask, did you guys go hit up the gumball machines and get like those fake rings for like 50p they gave him? or are you gonna go and get him like one of those WWF style like championship belts that you can wear that?
I might give him like a repurposed old baseball belt.
There we go.
The best I can do.
Well, we can take some baseball cards and duct tape it on around the belt. There we go.
So last weekend there was not last weekend, the weekend before, I believe, there was a testimonial of sorts for him, like a farewell game between the Comets and the Galaxy. I wasn't there, but I heard that it was a really good game. A lot of good baseball was played, and obviously a highly emotional event. There was a video of a really lovely send off that they gave Luke at the end. We'll have to share the video of that later. If there are any Galaxy or Comets who were in that game, please post your memories of the game below, and we'll get to that in the next 30-40 minutes. Let's move on though to the schedule, Jason, which I'm going to pull up here. The Baseball Scotland 2021 schedule has two immediate things that jump out to you now. One of them is the Giants. Still not there. The Giants are still not in the league. Obviously, they missed or would have missed the 2020 season if there had been one. They're going to miss the 2021 season. How do you feel this changes the dynamic of Edinburgh baseball as a guy who obviously helped build it?
I think you're going to get more playing time for people there. I think you were stretched thin for quite a bit there, where you kind of said we kind of need all three teams to play, and there was quite often you would borrow players to play there. So I think with just having the two teams, you're going to have a nice solid core. You're going to get everyone showing up each week, and I think it would be a good thing. From what I understand, a few guys have returned, so they've taken a couple of years off and they're back. I definitely hear there's definitely some new guys. I haven't quite made it down to training yet. But maybe this week I might go throw the ball down. Who knows? I'm getting the itch again,
I knew it was a matter of time, Jason. It's a matter of time before I stand and look at a curveball for you straight down the middle.
No games. No games. I'd just go and throw the ball around there. So we'll I need some exercise. So but yeah, they're all doing well, and it's limited to I think like 15 or 10 people per coach. I'm not sure how it all works there. So I might go and see one of the days where it's not full. I can sneak on down there. I had someone else try to get me to play softball, and I said, nope, not going to happen. Sorry, never going to happen unless it's some sort of baseball thing where we have to play softball. But yeah, no. I'd rather chop my arm off and play softball.
Well, I mean, tell us how you really feel, dude.
When somebody asks you that, it's like, you know what? It messes my swing up. I'm not it's all about launch angle with softball, and I'm not 240 pounds of muscle. I'm not John Nelson who can just crush softballs as far as he can crush baseballs. Yeah. So that's I'm definitely I hit down on the ball and get the backspin. That's how I roll. So it does not conducive to softball. So
now you mentioned my Comet brethren there. Have you seen the sexy new jerseys?
Ooh, they are nice. I had a few people comment they really like them. They do look good. The baby blues are fantastic, and they turned out amazing. So I'm quite stoked to see that it turned out every way the way you guys wanted it to.
Yeah, I don't have mine yet, but I can't wait to get my hands on it and see it in person. I've seen some photos. Danny Quinn took a really great picture of his jersey, and obviously Andy Vaughan, who I think has been kind of dishing out the jerseys. He's put up a picture. They look incredible. I'm every jersey that we've had just gets better and better, and this one's just, I think that it's been perfected.
Yeah, it's nice to see. It was a UK supplier. It was somebody had popped up fairly recently, and so from talking to John, he said it was everything he could hope for in a jersey, and that's the big thing there, because you can get jersey suppliers here. I bought from jersey suppliers here. They don't know baseball. They don't know the material. And John said he was super happy with it. So you couldn't ask for anything more than that. I own a vintage jersey company, so I'm picky on my clothes. So I'm glad to hear that it all worked out. And there's a supply in the UK that people can get their jerseys from. So that's solid.
Yeah, there's been people who contacted the comments about getting a jersey, like talking about the next order we put in, for obviously new guys. Like, can you put in one for me and I'll buy it. It's just crazy. I think there's been a couple of people who've actually messaged the page and stuff like that, asking these things. So it's a really lovely jersey, and it seems like it's going to be a winner, both hopefully on the field but certainly off it.
You're hoping it works both ways for you.
Yeah, hope it's not one of those cursed jerseys like that Manchester United grey one that they had once upon a time, where they just couldn't win all of a sudden.
You absolutely jinxed it. It's like the Phillies Saturday Night Special. They've wore it twice. They've lost twice. So yeah, you've now jinxed your jersey.
Exactly. We'll end up in Bizarro land. I'll be hitting 500, and everyone else will be like popping up on everything and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the Orioles or orange jersey. Like I said, they couldn't wear those for very long either. It was just too orange. But yeah, no, it's a cool jersey. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah. Let's move on from the comments jersey, because we do have the schedule to talk about. The other big one, no Aberdeen Express. That kind of surprised me. Now, we've talked off air, and there's probably quite an understandable reason behind it. But given the amazing progress that they made just in their first season in 2019, what does it mean for Aberdeen baseball to lose the Express this year?
I think they'll be fine. It's like I said, everyone's kind of had a year out, so you didn't know what you were coming back to anyways. So if it was the one team, it's probably be a very strong team. But I think they'll go back and go, okay, we've taken a step back. We kind of know what to do to rebuild it, and from everything I see across the board, it'll be just fine. Like I said, it's a blip. Like I said, we're just happy you're playing baseball this year.
Exactly. Yeah, you're quite right, actually. Hopefully 2022 we'll start to see those two teams come back, plus maybe more.
I think that's you're going to see. You're going to be. I mean, people are desperate to go out there and play baseball. I think people are just. Cabin fever is definitely kicked in, and you give it, another year, it'd be fine. I mean, the season's already starting late. You're going to get as much baseball as you can. It's gonna be a blip. Like I said, I mean, you couldn't do the recruiting because you didn't know when the league actually might start.
This is true. Yeah, it's just kind of been everything's been kind of in stasis or on pause for about the last year, and now kind of everything's kind of shot back in quite suddenly as well. It's kind of only a couple of months, whereas obviously normally you break in October, you've got November, December, then December, January is when your winter training will start indoors. So then you've got January, February, March, and then you've got that whole kind of period right into the season coming. So there's already an idea of numbers with indoor pre-season training and stuff like that. Are the numbers sustaining from year to year to year? But obviously this year we didn't have that. So it's I think the Paul and the league, the coaches and teams that are still involved have done a fantastic job this year. And I think we need to give props to not just Paul, but obviously the people that run each of the individual teams in Scotland that they've been able to put together this season. Shortened though it is, and late though it's starting, it's just great to have like some kind of organisation back to baseball in Scotland again.
Yeah, exactly. So I think everyone's just ready to go, and it's gonna be a shotgun season, and it's floor to the foot, metal to the pedal, and pedal to the metal, and it's go time.
Yep. So speaking of go time, opening day will be the 6th of June, Sunday, June 6th, and let's go over the matchups that we have for the opening day. Tayport, the Tayport Breakers, the actual baseball team that will play actual baseball in a league game for the first time on Sunday, the 6th of June. They'll be meeting the Aberdeen Oilers. That should be an interesting game.
So they starting at like 11:59, so they had the first game of the season because everyone else starts at like noon. They can start at 11:59 to open the season up, or is everyone else starting up like 12:01, 12:02, so they can?
Yeah, or we'll make that a Saturday game and stream it on YouTube as a kind of special. I'm thrilled for Jason West and for the project that he's built there, and the sweat and toil that he's put into that over, more than 2 years, to build that team up from nothing into what it is. And I mean, they've got a great field. They've got like a committed core of players. They've got, they're just driven to play in a way that I think is unmatched by a new team since I've been in the league. There's been quite a few teams that have been added since I've been playing, and I haven't seen a team that's been thrown together this fast with this much drive, and taking it this seriously. It's quite amazing to see that they'll finally get a chance to join the league and play some proper games.
I think Jason did a fantastic job. I think the people who were trying to get things going in Dundee didn't help themselves, I guess would be the best way to saying it. They kept shooting themselves in the foot, as politely as I can tell them that. And Jason's run with it and put the game together, and I'm glad to see it. I mean, we tried to get the team up in Dundee a couple times there, and it just didn't get off the ground for whatever reasons.
Moving on from that game. In fact, before we do, I want to touch on Aberdeen Oilers. How will the Oilers be affected? Will they benefit from the Express being gone?
I guess it depends. I haven't seen the roster, so it all depends on who comes back, who's new, how they're going to do it. Because again, you're all of a sudden going, okay, there was maybe 15, 20 guys per team, and now you have 20 to 30 guys per team. How do you do? It's the thing we always deal with there. How do you split up? Playing time. Who gets to play? Who doesn't play? Do you have a specific travel team that goes? Do you play your best nine? Do you, that will be something to come into play with it, because you're going to have people who are like, look, I pay my fees, I should be able to play, and that's definitely something.
A few times.
Yeah, and so it's going to wear thin after a couple of games if people start showing up and they don't play. So. That's going to have to be something to deal with there. And same thing goes to all the teams there. You all of a sudden you have one less team, and all of a sudden you have to figure out what to do with playing time for everyone to make everyone happy.
Yeah, so it could be a boon to the Oilers, given that depending on who sticks around, they could end up with a couple of the core people from the Express. But like I say, a bit of a headache when it comes to game management and team selection and getting players their innings. Because like you say, if you signed up to the team, then you're pretty much entitled to at least some playtime.
I had it happen before. I had a player that I'm still friends with. He said, I quit playing because you kept pulling me out of the game because you had to give other people playing time. I was like, oh, I took you out because I thought you didn't mind. He's like, oh. So sorry.
As baseball players for you. Just quiet, get the head down and get on with it.
Yeah. All right. You were the one that complained the least when I pulled you out. So.
So let's move on from that game. The Glasgow Derby opens the season, and we are the home team. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be great. Hopefully we'll have Big John Nelson back by then. Hopefully David will be around. We'll have to wait and see what his schedule is going to be like. But I'm pretty excited about this Comets team. I think the steps we've made the last 2 seasons, not including last year, but obviously the steps we made 18-19. This team's gotten better and better each year. Last year, obviously, with the Cup win, the Galaxy obviously lost Luke in the off-season. Are they going to be able to fill that gap? That's always the question when you lose such a key player, isn't it? From what I've seen when I've been to training, and it hasn't been nearly enough, honestly. But what I've seen... In
theory, you guys always been training for 3 weeks now. Come on.
But from what I've seen, it looks like John Tafe is going to do what John Tafe always does, and that's kind of work with what he's got and try to build something special. So it's going to be really good to see these games. I actually think it's going to be quite close, the derby this year in each game, and I'm looking forward to playing in them.
And then John Nelson's going to match 500-foot home runs to put you over the top.
Well, that is to be devoutly hoped.
Yeah, you've seen that gif going around of Darth Vader hitting a home run. That is John.
Yeah, that literally is actually. Yeah, It's going to be good to see how the Comets are going to shape up for an entire season, an entire year under Jason Stott as well. Obviously, he took over as head coach of the Comets, taking over for Gio at the end of the 2019 season. Then obviously we had the pandemic since then. He's been a success so far. One competitive game, one win. So it's good start, but we'll see how Jason manages the team. Like it's like comes back to the same question. What will his team selection strategy be? How will he balance out innings as a player? Jason's still a fantastic player. How's he going to affect the game from the playing side? It's going to be interesting to see how things turn out in Glasgow. I can't wait. And the last game that we have on opening day is the Edinburgh Derby. It's my favourite derby, Jason, the Edinburgh Derby. It's your Cannons, and they are the road team against the Edinburgh Diamond Devils. Now, you've mentioned that you haven't had much of a chance to get down there, but have you heard anything?
So they have signed 3 ex-major leaguers. Roger Clemens, Andy Pettit, Jorge Posada. They all signed minor league deals with us, so we're good. So no, I plan to pop on down and talk to the guys there and see what's going on there. I know I see they put a post up, say, look, we only have 15 guys per coach. That fills up within minutes. So they have a couple guys coming back, a couple guys' sons returning. I saw that. So Nick Clark's son's playing now. So it's great to see that the tradition continues.
Legacy player.
I said I don't remember how I never saw him as a junior, but he played competitive tennis. So I imagine the hand-eye coordination is there. So other than that, I don't know. I'll have to go and pop on down and stick my eyeball out there and see what's happening.
Excellent. It's going to be interesting to see. I never got a chance to play with Nick, so it'll be interesting to play with Nick's son.
Yeah, I think if Nick's son's down there, I mean, maybe Nick makes a comeback. That's what I'm hoping for.
Let's hope so. Nick's a legend of Scottish baseball.
It would be like the Griffeys, you can have Nick at his.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that he'll at least show up around the fields to cheer his boy on. I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of meeting Nick. And he is a legend of Scottish baseball. We've covered it in the podcast before. We had him on. He's a fountain of stories. You know better than anyone. He coached you back in the day. So. Back in the day,
yeah. That I gotta make sure Wolfie's still alive. So.
Death, taxis, and another season of Wolfie.
A Wolfie. At least he's not behind the plate. So.
Yeah, I honestly think another season behind the plate with some of the arms that we've got in the league these days would potentially kill Wolfie.
Like he was closing his eyes when I was throwing the ball. So, that was 4 years ago. So, it's that's not a good sign.
Your fucking fastball is in bullet time.
I know. But so yeah, we'll see. Like I said, it's exciting times. I know everyone's super keen to get out there, and I'll be glad to go and pop on down and say hi to the guys that are still around.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how all 3 of those matchups shake out. Obviously, you've got Takeport, brand new. Aberdeen, are they going to be a better squad for the Express being gone, or are they going to be depleted even as they are, depending on the numbers and what they've got left? The Glasgow Derby we've touched on, the Comets on the ascendancy. We've got some really interesting pieces that are coming in this year. Galaxy, they've just lost Luke, but they're still very potent, and they're adding a couple of new guys that I think are going to. John Taves is really a good manager. He knows how to get the best out of what he's got around him. And he's already got probably the most potent top to bottom lineup in the league. So it's going to be really interesting. And then, of course, the Edinburgh Derby.
I think Clemens puts us over the top. I'm not worried about
it. You can just imagine Roger throwing 100 in there.
Who's going to catch him? Come on now. Yeah.
Jorge Posada, obviously.
Yeah, I forgot Jorge's there. Yes. I forgot Jorge's there. So.
Yeah. I might need to become a cannon for the game just so I can tell people I played with the Rocket. And
it's going to be like the Simpsons episode, we stack our lineup like the Simpsons do. So.
So very interesting stuff coming up. We're going to go through that schedule week by week as the season goes on. We're going to report on the scores. We're going to have interviews with people. We're going to chat to people before and after the games. We're going to do this properly this year, Jason.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, we've kind of just kept it going with no season, and we've done well. So we have fed you full of bullshit for about a year. So we're ready to give you some real stuff soon.
Yeah. Now you mentioned real stuff. It's, I think we would be remiss if we didn't bring up the kind of chaotic situation that's been going on in the baseball community down south the last week or two. Just
shambles.
Yeah, what better way to put it than a shambles and a bit of a shit show. So for those who don't know, there was an advertisement for a women's baseball team that was put out by, I believe it was the British Baseball Federation.
The BBF.
The BBF. Which,
not BSUK, BBF. So there is a difference there. It is the British Baseball Federation.
These days there very much is a difference, yes, more so than ever, I think. So yeah, this advertisement depicted basically a lady who had, for some reason, a batting helmet on and a baseball glove, and maybe she went to the John Olerud School of Fielding, but she was basically depicted relatively scantily clad, and the image on the advert didn't go down well in certain circles, in particular. A lot of the women that are involved in baseball across the UK. I think the reaction is entirely justified. I believe the image was very inappropriate. I think the last thing society needs at this point is to so overtly sexualise an advert for amateur athletics of any kind. In particular, I think a sport where women are often going to be mixing with men. I think one thing that Paul and Baseball Scotland have done really well the last couple of years is integration of women into the game without making it a spectacle at all. We've spoken to Poppy, and I think one of the things that jumped out to both of us when we spoke to Poppy Reid last year of Women's Baseball Scotland was how non-existent almost the whole kind of sexist element was. Obviously there were elements of it, but it was almost not really there in terms of the day-to-day running of things. And obviously Women's Baseball Scotland is in the hands of women. It's run by women and for women. But BBF apparently isn't. BBF is apparently run by a chauvinist pig who thought that was appropriate in 2021. I don't get it.
The only thing I think of is they asked a graphic designer, we need a logo of women's baseball, and this is what they found. All right, yeah, I did a search. This is what came up. Must be appropriate, because I think anyone that actually plays the game would have gone, what the hell are you thinking? And it still had to be approved by somebody before they put it up. So,
somebody had to approve that. Now, why was that somebody, not Doris?
Because it's not her. So Doris is in charge of, or was in charge of the general manager on there. So it was a BBF thing. So again, it's separate.
You would think though, the BBF being the kind of governing body for baseball in the UK would have thought to sound out the women, regardless of whether or not. Someone would think maybe we should ask a woman what would be the best way to advertise to women.
I think they do their own thing, but I think what it is they could have asked any of the women, can we use your photo? Hey, do you have a photo can I use? Because I think even if you sign up for the registration with the BBF, make sure I get this right, the BBF.
The BBC, they're bastards as well, but no.
The BBF, and I think one of the things you check off in the box is that you will allow people to have photos, and your photo could be used in there. So they must have photos they could use. It was just poorly done, poorly executed. You're seeing clubs saying they no longer want to be associated with the BBF. And it's just, I've known this for a long time now, and it seemed to really just going downhill now with clubs leaving and just getting nothing from it. And it's just a shame. Like I said, it's not the sport I played when I came over in 2003, and it's just gotten worse. And we recognized that when we left the league in 2007. So, you're still talking about 14 years later, and it's just getting worse. Like that's not a good sign when you're losing clubs. You're doing this kind of shit. Yeah. So
one thing that I was pleased by was the outpouring of support that the women who quite rightly sort of, it was kind of like a campaign. It was they sort of made it known that they were very displeased by the image and the way that women's baseball had been framed in that advertisement. You know, many teams, many players, many just onlookers and people affiliated with baseball across the UK posted messages of support, messages condemning the advert. I believe it's been removed now. But it's important to not let them off the hook. I think so. This isn't just you can't really plead ignorance in 2021. Why, as a society, is that still something that can be let happen? And even in a larger societal sense, last night at the Yankee game, which by the way was fucking brilliant, but like I was reading Twitter after it, and there was a woman who was posting on Twitter saying she had been sexually harassed by two guys on the way back to the car park from the stadium. It's like we clearly have a long, long way to go as a society to make baseball or sport in general more of a place where women feel comfortable, and that's sad. We should all be enjoying the game together and treat people equally. Just treat people like players, man. Like it was like you say, why did they not grab an action shot of one of the women playing for that advert instead of having some women in a cocktail dress that was falling off?
I think the other problem was it took 6 days for them to respond, which I mean, they would have seen whoever's doing social media would have gone, holy shit, I've got a lot of messages here and people are angry. We should do something. I've had tweets blow up, positive tweets blow up, not anything negative, thank God. And your phone just goes off the hook. You get messages, you get emails. Like at some point you have to go, whoops, I should probably take this down right away, and we should probably get a formal apology because Jerry Perez, like, I don't know what you do for your day job, but that would have been more important as the president of the league to go, yep, I better address this right now.
Now, Jerry Perez should resign as the president of BBF. Doris Hawking decided to resign as general manager of the women's Great Britain team, I believe, or is it just the Great Britain team? I'm not entirely sure.
The women's
team, I believe it was. Yeah, she decided to resign because of how disgusted she was by the whole process, and I think that's really horrible. That somebody who's been made to feel that uncomfortable then feels like she needs to go. It should be the other way around. It's absolutely sickening.
I think the changes need to be happening. Anything like baseball in this country is completely fucked. It really is. Like you've got a governing body who doesn't talk to whatever the BBF are. You've got separate things, so they're doing better without the BBF. I think it might be time to stick a fork in the BBF. You're done. Like, it might be time just to.
That time's probably long since passed, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's time for baseball. Time for the big baseball breakup. I think, if anything, Baseball Scotland's shown that it can be done and done successfully. Like it's only been 14 years and we've turned into a decent league. Our national team has gone down and won championships in England. We can be competitive and run our own affairs and be fair to people.
I think it's just with
all the bureaucratic nonsense.
The timing's horrible. Like, we should have been building off the London series in 2019. The pandemic fucked us last year, so we didn't know Cubs, Cardinals. You've got new teams popping up and people interested in it, and this couldn't come at a worse time for someone's like, oh boy, especially young women go, I want to join this sport. What the fuck? That's going to be your reaction. All I can say is, if you're playing baseball in this country, please be supportive. They need it. It's tough times there. I'm glad we're not associated one bit.
Yeah. The hashtag was Women Belong in Sport, and I think it says it all. This should be a sport for everybody. We should all be playing it and enjoying it together. First things first, we're all here to enjoy the game. Anything political or bollocks about anything else just doesn't have a place on the field, and it's just sad that it keeps coming back to this. It's just sad. What I will say to close up on that rather annoying subject is the Birds with Balls women. They have done 2 episodes now where they touched on this. They did an episode previously where they touched on it, and they've got a new episode which they go into much more detail on. I haven't heard all of that one yet because it just dropped, but I'm looking forward to hearing that and hearing the perspective of the people who actually, matter in this scenario, which is the women who have been really grossly offended by it, and they've had their enjoyment of the game. I don't know if it's been ruined, but it's certainly been affected, and someone's position in a team, in a sport that she absolutely loved, has come to an end because she felt like she had no other choice. So listen to Birds with Balls, their new episode regarding the whole chaotic controversy, I suppose we'll call it, and we'll put a pin in it from there. Let's get back to fun stuff.
That's it. Yeah. So yes.
Your Mariners are doing well. My Yankees are on the ascendancy.
But it's May now. We're turning into pumpkin. So we always start out well, and it goes down. I even had my brother go, "Hey, the Mariners are good." I said, "No, they're not good." But we got off to a good start, and then I'm happy. Like I said, we're aiming for 500 this year, and then hopefully next year we can overpay for somebody to help put us over the top.
Yeah, I have a buddy who's a Mariner fan, and he's like really excited about this team, and I was just like, your first time, like, the Mariners always do this.
So you've been following the Mariners for a year now, huh? All right. But you know what? There's a great show. It's not Fangraph who put it on there. I'll have to send you off air. And the Mariners are the most interesting team in baseball. And it's on YouTube, and it's a lot of fun. And even if you're not a Mariners fan, it's probably the most fascinating 3-hour documentary you'll see on the sport. So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. So it's amazing. So it talks about the lows of the lows. So we don't do anything average. We're either really bad or really good.
Yeah. You have a lot of 102, 104 lost seasons, and then you have that 116 win season.
Yep.
I mean, that sustains you for another 10, 15 years.
Yes. Like I said, 95, man. 95 was a great year. I'm just going to keep that in my head. Yeah, what's up with your Yankees? So what's going on there? So you guys have like the second most expensive lineup in baseball, I'm assuming, these days. So
yeah, probably. Well, the Yankees are starting to wake up. They've won 4 in a row. They're 15-14 now, above 500. Giancarlo Stanton is hitting in another stratosphere. He's on a 10-game hitting streak. His batting average has gone from 158 on April 27th, I think, to now 290. So it's quite a jump in about 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks. He is. I've never seen Giancarlo Stanton hit as well as he's hitting just now.
So how much longer you give before he hurts himself?
Another 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give it 3 weeks.
I like Stanton. Like I said, like I hope he does. Baseball is better with him around. Like I mean,
absolutely,
the dude crushes baseballs. Who doesn't want to see 500-foot home runs?
Yeah, he's just a freak of nature who, when he hits the ball, it just goes amazing. It's like the John Nelson of Major League Baseball. If you could scale John Nelson up to like a Major League Baseball player, he would be Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah. So, and apparently he's super nice as well too. So.
And he eats KitKats. Weird, apparently.
What? Okay. What is he like? Eat them whole?
He eats them whole, but the thing is, I eat them whole as well. So.
You guys are weird.
People have been like, "Oh, it's so weird you don't do that," and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, but like he can fit a whole one in his mouth, I have no doubt.
Well, that's his business.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So you've got shit to do, bud. So let's wrap things up, guys. Obviously, if you're watching this live, you'll know that we're on facebook.com/capsandpipes. Go to anchor.fm/capsandpipes for the audio version, or search Ball Caps and Bagpipes on any audio streaming platform of your choosing. I am catching up with you guys. I'm catching up with time. I'm only a few weeks behind now. There's quite a few broadcasts still to get through. But yeah, I've been slowly chipping away at the backlog that I've had. All of the October fundraiser and all of the Christmas period fundraiser episodes are all out in audio format. go to Spotify, listen to every last one of them, make it worth their while to have done them. It was already worth their while, but
it was worth their while. And hey,
yeah.
and anyone that takes the time to write us a review, we thank you so much. It's much appreciated.
Yes.
It helps us.
Yeah.
It helps us grow our audience more. So I know we didn't talk about the Negro League Baseball Museum and the art fundraiser, but we are back to talk about baseball in Scotland, and we'd love to get more people listening to our show. So please, give us a review. Tell us your favorite Scottish dish. Let's do like that. Like I said, I like haggis. Come on. If that's how you write for review, that'd be amazing. Like I said, or deep fried Mars bars are fantastic.
What was the first ball game you ever watched on Channel 5?
Exactly. It's just write anything in a review. Give us, obviously we'd like a 5-star review, but it's up to you. But yeah, we just want to help us grow the audience so they can actually hear about baseball in Scotland, because that's what we're here to do. We've been waiting for a year, and now it's happening.
Yes, it's great to finally be here. Yeah, but I would like to echo that, Jason. Comment underneath the show, underneath our posts. Email us. It's I don't know, our email address, capsandpipes@gmail.com.
I think it could be, or ball caps and bagpipes. I can't remember which one it is. It's one of them. It will go to one of us.
Yeah. I think the email address is on the Facebook page, so just check it out there. Twitter @capsandpipes. That's CAPSANDPIPES. Or you can follow Bubba on Baseball @Bubba on Baseball, or @Dugout Classics for your vintage jersey store that you touched on earlier. I'm @JohnCapsPipes on Twitter. I basically post about AS Roma, the New York Yankees, and my very cynical political opinions, and how shit I think the world is because of right-wing people. So that might not be the best place to go if you don't like miserable people.
That's Twitter. Twitter's full of miserable people.
YouTube, just type ball caps and bagpipes in YouTube, and you can watch all the video that's on there. I'm slowly chipping away at that as well, trying to get the backlog all up there. I'm building playlists and shit so that people can find stuff easily. It's all happening just very slowly. I've got a life that I have to.
And again, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Like I said, we're like 99 people away from getting 100, so we're real close. So
yeah, we do need to grow the YouTube audience, so please do hit us up on YouTube, comment under the videos, share it around, tell people about Scottish baseball, tell people about ball caps and bagpipes. Listen to the British Baseball podcast as well, and Birds with Balls, the aforementioned Birds with Balls, Two Strike Noise. Any others?
Yeah, well, a shout out to Matt at British Baseball Podcast, because we will give him updates on the Scottish version of that. So he's been nice enough to go, hey, you want to join us? And so happy to be working with Matt. Matt's a great guy. I enjoy chatting with Matt, and I'm really honored that he's asked us to cover the Scottish section of his podcast.
England, we're coming.
Yeah. So anyways, everyone, nice to chat to you. Great to see you all. We can't wait to see you guys on the field really soon. We're 4 weeks away from the first game, so less than that, 3.5. So yeah,
weeks on Sunday. Yeah.
So I'll have to definitely pop down the field this weekend to go and see what's going on, and give you more of an review than just going, yeah, I saw when I was at Tesco. They were there.
Sunday, 13th of June. I'm going to be in Edinburgh.
All right. Okay.
I'll be expecting to see you at the field, Sunshine.
Oh my gosh. We have to do a live broadcast from there.
We're going to do a live broadcast from the field on 13th of June.
All right. Let me put that in the calendar so I know it'll be down there.
Right. You've got to run, guys. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll be back next week with another show. Will we have an NLBM art interview next week? You don't want to see
maybe. I'll know more in an hour. So, but yes, we're still doing something with them. I know we'll have something, but yes, we'll drop some hints later.
Yep. Thanks again for joining us, guys. Good night.